Hey, welcome to the Daily Beard for March 11th, 2019. So, if you watched yesterday, which, as far as I can tell, is my most watched video ever, I had a really bad day yesterday. Saying that, that's half the story. So, if you watched yesterday, I left off with going to Popeye's chicken, being super depressed. Watch yesterday's video if you didn't. But anyway, I went home after Popeyes, of course, ate Popeyes, so good. Got my wife Beth, and we ended up going to the worship night at my church. And the worship night at my church is a thing where we do in the basement, which is like a lower sanctuary. It's just a lot of singing, mainly, a lot of praising and stuff like that, a lot of great songs and stuff, and just singing along. And I sat there for 40 minutes and couldn't sing. Just sat there. And I was like, the music was good, don't get me wrong, but couldn't sing. I tried, couldn't. Literally, there's like, I mentioned there's like a tongue. My tongue had like a lock on it. I could speak, don't get me wrong, but I couldn't sing. I just was in a place I couldn't do that. And I ended up like being at the very back and ended up pacing back and forth, listening, and I was just like, okay, God, make me sing, or like at least do something. And I'm like, yeah, if you give me something to say, I'll say it. And this is a gathering. There's like 60, 70, 80 people there, probably 70. I don't know. Math was never my strong suit. Anyway, so he gave me something to say about what's going on with me. And I don't like doing this because like you literally walked up in front of everyone during literally people were playing music, and I stepped up and said, get something to say. And so I said that I was struggling with what I was and how bad the morning was, and the fact that I can't sing right now, and that it's really driving me nuts, and that the fact that God still honors that, and that he takes my broken bits, my broken worship, the best I can offer, which is terrible, and holds it up and treasures it. And I used a thing from like VeggieTales, actually, where God takes your work where it seems like nothing, but puts it on his fridge, because he treasures it, like you would do with your kids' pictures. And that sparked a bunch of stuff. So a lady who is at my church got up and said, well, I had a Bible verse that came to me, and I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I couldn't tell who had it, who it was for, and it was for you. And so she gave it to me, and it was like, whoa, that was super applicable. Wow, okay. And so I went to the back, and people were giving me head nods and stuff. And after a couple, I got a lot of hugs. And then after a couple minutes, that lady, her name's Elizabeth, and a friend of mine named Jim came up and were like, we got to pray for you. And so they prayed for me, and other people joined in and stuff, and a bunch of my friends and stuff. I had a bunch of people praying over me. It was amazing, and it was awesome. And I could feel myself lightening, my depression lightening, but they went and sat back down afterwards, and I still couldn't sing. It was just like, I was like, and then a guy named Jamie, I'm not going to say his last name because I don't want to throw it out there for him. But Jamie is a guy I've known for years, as in we know who each other are. But he's intimidatingly cool, and I've never known what to say to him. And so I've kind of just acknowledged that he's there, and he's acknowledged that I'm there, and we've said hello and stuff. But literally, so we've never had a real conversation. Came up and started talking to me, and just said, hey, listen, God really told me to come pray for you. And I was like, oh, okay. And he goes, I know we don't know each other that well. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so he prayed for me and prayed that the Holy Spirit would unlock my tongue. And if you're a couple of my friends who don't believe in God right now, or you're like, this is nuts. And it is, but it's true. And so he's just like, thanks. And, I said thanks and gave him a big hug, and he walked back, and 2 minutes later, I was singing. And now, I was singing. It was not Freddie Mercury. It was little and quiet, but it was. And it made me go speak again, where I literally had to go speak again and say, this happened because he came up and talked to me. So, yeah, if you're going to hear the one side, I'm going over time. I usually end up 5 minutes, but if you're going over time, or if you're going over time, if you're going to get the one side of me pre going to worship night, like pre Popeyes, and this is after Popeyes and worship night, and it totally changed my night. It totally helped me. It was an amazing night. Got to talk to a lot of good friends, got prayed over a lot, spoke a bit, and sang a bit. And yeah, if God's ever given you something to do, like something to say, and you feel like, oh, you know, I should be saying something, say it. Just do it. There's someone who's going to receive that, like, hopefully in a good way. And yeah. And I'm like, I got to tell everyone about this because this is what happened last night. So this is like part 2 from yesterday. So tomorrow will probably be a regular vlog where I'm talking about movies or just what happened with me. But, you know, my day was much better today because of going last night. I'm so glad I went and did all that. So, yeah. If you got a message, say it. Stay bearded.